What is up? Welcome to the casting table from Apocaflix Movies, where we take a character that we're excited about that most likely has some type of project coming up or possibly could in fandom, basically. And we take that character and we all choose our number one choice for that. We also choose a backup and some honorable mentions. And, you know, as movie fans, we just love talking about who could play what characters and trying to throw our favorite actors and actresses into those characters. So let's jump into it. First off, I'm Jacob Bartley. I am joined by a full cast today. Brian Avalosino to my right, Keith Barnes to my left, and Jake Berlin over there behind the controls. So let's jump right into it. Today, we are casting Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, and in the comics, she is Bruce Banner's cousin, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know the exact origin. I know Keith knows a little bit about it, but I believe she might die for some reason, and he uses his blood to save her life.
She's a lawyer. She gets shot by some mob
that's
guys.
how she kind of gets exposed to the gamma radiation and all that stuff.
Yeah. She gets shot, right? And they basically blood transfusion. He's the only one because he matches.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
which I really hope they do something like that for the show, which would be incredible. And she is a lawyer, so we're gonna see it might be like a Law and Order type show in the superhero world, which could be pretty awesome. So just to give you some context on what type of character we're looking for, and if you don't know what the character looks like, I recommend looking her up. Maybe Jake will probably have an image of her on the thumbnail as well.
Right here.
I'll put an image up in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Probably looking at one right now. Anyways, so yes, that's who we're casting today. So basically, we're going to list our number one choice first, and then we'll list our backups and our honorable mentions.
So before we get started, I wanted to mention that the reason that we are doing here today is because they hired a writer to write the series. We were kind of throwing around ideas for different characters, and we want to mix it up a little bit. But we're going with her because they picked Jessica Gao, Emmy Award-winning Jessica Gao, to
Rick and
write
Morty
the show.
writer, which I just
from
saw
Rick
that one.
The Pickle Rick episode.
Yeah, the Pickle Rick episode.
We could get a casting announcement any
which
day
is
now.
exactly why we're doing this now.
We want to get ahead of it,
we do have some different kind of characters off the books that we're waiting to do. If you guys have any suggestions and you're watching, let us know. We'd love to do them, but this is the reason we chose her for this time, because this show could be getting going pretty soon.
Oh, you know what? She's right here. Just noticed.
Yeah.
She's right here.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so hard with these casting tables is there's been so many superhero movies, and especially if we're talking about the MCU, you have to make sure you're not picking an actor who's already been in an MCU film or an MC. Well,
we did that last time with the guy from Homecoming.
Yeah. Or I guess you can say, you can't get someone from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
But they're doing it already. Gemma Chan is in the Eternal. She was in Captain Marvel.
And then what's her name? She's in.
Well, it depends. Like you can't choose Brie Larson for
I know who you're talking about.
In Civil War that Tony was talking to.
She was in Luke Cage.
We don't know if those are official canon. Yes. They're probably not. Anyways, so I had a little trouble with this one. I didn't have an easy go-to answer right away.
Are you starting it?
No, I'm not. Okay. But I'm just saying, like in general, did you guys have a difficult time with this one?
Nope.
Or did you know names right away? Okay.
Nope.
All right, well, we're going to go to Keith first.
They were right in my head.
What is your number one?
I'm happy by this. I'm stoked.
It is kind of fitting that we're doing this and Moon Knight, because Moon Knight got their screenwriter too.
Yep.
So
check that episode out.
We also promised we're not only doing Marvel characters.
Is writing Moon Knight.
I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't watched Umbrella Academy?
No, I watched that. Yes.
He's writing Moon Knight.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
So we'll try to do something non-Marvel next time.
Yeah, we have two on the books that we're waiting to do that.
We have a handful.
So.
Exactly. So, Keith, let's go to you first. So, we're going to name our first choice first. That way nobody takes ours with the backup. So,
I'm pretty.
So, we're only naming one thing.
This is the intense part, because you're like, don't pick my choice, don't pick my choice.
Yeah.
Well, one of my backups is pretty obvious.
Wait, are you going backup first?
No, we're going our number one first. Yeah. But I know it's pretty obvious. I bet you everyone has it. But my number one is, I'm curious, but it's Elizabeth Debicki.
Oh, I love her.
From
Oh, interesting.
She's good. I like her. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. That horrible
Man from U.N.C.L.E. She was in Widows.
She is in Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's right.
Widows.
Widows. Yeah, right. She's Australian actress.
Cloverfield Paradox.
Very tall. That's what it is.
Best movie of the year last year.
I was that last year? For that movie.
I know, right? Me too. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
But she's tall. She's about 6'5", 6'3", I think. 6'2",
I can see her
6'3".
playing that lawyer type too.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to think of a tall actress, but she doesn't have to be tall. But it would. It's
not necessarily, but I think.
But that's a good choice. As soon as you said it,
yeah, she'd be mine.
See it.
She's if you don't, she's the gold lady in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up her name.
Volume 2.
Deanna? No.
I'll look up her name.
Yeah.
Starts with Aisha.
I think it is Aisha.
I think it is
Aisha.
Aisha. Yeah, something like that. That's probably the biggest thing she's been in. Honestly, I mean, like you said, Man from Uncle.
And that would be a big role for her to get. Yeah.
I would love to see her do that, man.
Well, she might come. They said she might.
She'll be in Volume 3.
But again, it's one of those things like you just mentioned.
Oh, you're right. That's what I'm
saying.
MCU. I didn't even think about that.
That's why.
But that's one of those where you could do it because she's
painted all gold.
Exactly, and
now they're gonna paint her all green.
Also, not gonna be human in this show because if I'm not mistaken, I think
she's human, but
she's able to control it, or does she?
She can control it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the one that.
If I look at like any comic images, or I've scrolled through some of her comics, she's green a lot. Like she goes into the courtroom.
She decides to just stay that way because she likes it. Yeah. And the funny thing about She-Hulk is, I've been so excited about a She-Hulk thing for a long time because she's one of those characters. She was doing this like 10 years before Deadpool, but she breaks the fourth wall often. Ooh. She's one of those characters she's a character that she's aware that she's a comic book character. And so she will address the writers.
See,
and
now
editors,
that's why it fits perfectly in Disney Plus.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm very intrigued.
She'll get in arguments with the writers and editors. Why are you putting me in this? Why is this all this happening? I hate this. Or she'll walk across the ads in the comics. You read some of her old comics, and you'll see her walking through the ads, going to her next whatever she's doing next and stuff. Or she'll see her like tearing pages out of it. This is terrible. I hate this. Or why are you doing this to me? Or that kind of stuff. And so.
That makes sense now why they hired Rick and Morty.
Right, exactly. And that's what they do with this show.
It does make sense.
I'm telling you, I'm so excited about this.
I'm very intrigued. Wow.
I'd love to see her doing that.
It was Aisha, Protector of the Sovereign.
The Sovereign.
Or Leader of the Sovereign.
I was trying to think of the name of this. Yeah, the Sovereign. There you go. Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I go next. So I had a hard time choosing between my number one. My number one and number two are hand in hand. Like, quite honestly, my number two was my number one for a very long time until I thought about number one about 24 hours ago. And that is Rebecca Ferguson.
God! Oh, that was why, you son of a bitch. It is.
Your number one?
Yes! I knew it! I knew Jake had that.
I usually go to Brian first.
I knew it.
That's why he told me not to go to you first.
The reason why I thought of her is because of Dr. Sleep. She wasn't in my head until Dr. Sleep. I want her in this type of property so bad.
I've seen her do action before,
and seeing her in this type of role, we haven't seen her in yet because she does a lot of action stuff. And I saw her ability to act in Dr. Sleep. Her ability to act is on display in that movie, and I think she could end up killing a role like this, I won't say too much. I'd like to have Brian talk about it too, but I think that she would be fantastic.
No, now I don't want to put her in my list. She could be my honorable.
But why was she? Okay, you can talk about her later. Then
kind of the same thing Jake says. She's always good in what she's in. I think she would be a dope, like the human aspect, like the lawyer, like that type of stuff. I think she'd be sweet to have as that character. Because I kind of thought more along the lines of the lawyer aspect.
Yeah.
Playing that, because she's a very intelligent character. She is, she doesn't Hulk smash. That's not her MO. So, like, I was trying to think of I didn't want the easy pick, the Ronda Rousey, the wrestler type thing. I went more for the lawyer aspect, the smart.
Is somebody saying that?
Well, there's just a lot of people saying that she can play the role.
They've been looking at
Becky Lynch from WWE.
No,
not looking, but people are like, she could play
like athlete type. No, nothing against. But no.
So that was my number one.
That's a good.
I wish I could flip you off right now. Because I knew if one person was going to have it, it was going to be him. And when you said, well, start this way, I was like, damn, he's going to pick it.
If you would have said her first, if you would have gone that way, I would never even have mentioned her.
I
probably would have had her as my honorable mention. I would have flipped.
You did that with Kate Bishop, like when I chose Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, I moved things around. I didn't even mention it.
Yeah, and then I found out afterwards. I was like, what? That was your number one? That's kind of cool, though. So, being that your number one's taken.
Well, you do your number one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I have three names, but And honestly, it's so hard to
I'm
choose
always
one
interested
of them.
in what Jacob picks.
No, me too.
He always goes into detail before he talks about him, and I'm like, who
is
the
this?
F
Yeah,
is he
right.
talking
Okay,
about?
so there's 3, which I can't decide. I couldn't decide who I wanted out of these 3 to be my number 1. I'd be okay with all 3 of them, and we'll get to those other names.
You say that every time, dude.
We'll get to those other names, but I think the one I'm going to lean on, which she hasn't been in an MCU film, is, and it's kind of out of the box for this casting, is Anne Hathaway.
I like it. She was on a list I saw.
Interesting.
She was on a list I saw.
I think... See, I don't know much about She-Hulk, but I think she can play the human aspect and the lawyer aspect very well.
Oh, so we're just going to say exactly what
I think she would kill it in the courtroom scene.
First, my choice
and to
is
see her, and it's not like 10 years ago she wouldn't have done it. She wouldn't have done a She-Hulk TV show, but a She-Hulk TV show. I don't know, but now the way TV is now and how popular the MCU is, and it's almost like an honor to play these characters now.
Especially a show like this because of the budget and like just how much.
And if you look at somebody like Charlie Cox, he adores playing Daredevil, and I'm sure he would
You
love to
defend
come
your man.
back.
You defend
But
Charlie Cox.
I just think...
I heard they might keep him.
So I think this could be, she's not above this now,
Well,
and
it's different from 10 years ago. TV's very different.
Yeah.
Like it's
right.
like you're saying, it's almost like a good thing to be on TV sometimes with a specific type of shows.
And people are going to watch this show either way, but I think if you attach a name like her, it might draw in those non-comic book fans, maybe some other female viewers who wouldn't watch an MCU show, but because she's attached, and they're going to play like, what's it like for a woman to go through that transformation? I think Anne Hathaway would do a great job
and
at it.
if Mark Ruffalo does end up being in the show, they're in a movie coming out together, so
Oh,
they already have
really?
some
Oh,
kind
right.
of chemistry.
Oh, well.
They're
And
in a movie called Dark Water from the director of Spotlight.
Okay.
It's a true story-based
interesting.
movie, and they play husband and wife in that movie, so they've worked together.
That'd be pretty cool. And and I do hope Mark Ruffalo at least makes a cameo in the first episode.
I think he will.
And they do, where he's involved somehow in her creation, I guess.
Yeah.
Even if they aren't related, which I don't think they will be, he's going to have a huge part in the show.
Well, I hope not, because my second choice is going to be really weird if they...
No, look,
I thought about
a lot of comic book
yeah,
movie fans are going to be upset if they don't make her his cousin. But I don't want her to be his cousin because it's just so convenient. Like, his cousin is the one who ends up being She-Hulk, but I get, who knows? If it's the blood fusion
if
thing,
they do that, then
that makes sense,
Yeah.
I guess, but we'll see.
I mean, it's kind of a la Hulk when his blood drops into the drain.
It would be kind of cool though if she is his cousin, because then it's like they're committing to that storyline.
This is different from like, the son found the father's suit.
Yeah.
This is different. Like, this is literally from the comics,
Exactly.
She is the cousin.
It's not, they didn't force it,
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
They're sticking to comic book origins, which they do a lot of times, yeah. So, Keith, what would be your second choice? Your runner-up?
Well, my second choice, and this is very close to being my first because of what I mentioned about the fourth wall breaking and all that stuff. If that's the direction they go with She-Hulk, which I hope they do. But if that's the case, then my second choice would probably be better, to be honest. But it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Freaking love her. Love her.
Yeah,
Who is she?
Yeah.
She is from... She played the droid in Solo.
I know that.
L3.
Ah.
And then she also Fleabag.
Fleabag.
She's the creator of Fleabag, which I just finished a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible. And she
stuff.
does some kind of fourth wall breaking in that. So that's why I initially thought about
She's
her
the
at
hot
first.
topic right now.
Yeah, she is.
She helped write Bond 25.
Right.
She was on Solo, obviously.
Yeah.
She just signed a huge deal with Amazon.
Yeah. She's blowing up big time, and she probably, if they, like I said, if they go in that direction,
I could see that.
That's a unique choice, and I like it.
Yeah,
because I do think there's going to be a comedic aspect to this
right.
show.
And she can help.
Has to be,
and she can help write the show.
Right.
And she can probably direct a couple.
If they do the fourth wall breaking thing, that would be perfect.
The fourth wall breaking in Fleabag it's probably the most brilliant version of fourth wall breaking ever. It's very subtle.
Yes.
Very
what
subtle.
What is it on again?
Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Yeah.
It's only a 30-minute not a sitcom, but a comedy.
Because something will happen, and
she just looks, and
she'll just look at the camera like,
"Oh, it's so good."
And then
it's
so very funny.
Isn't that the show you've been telling me to watch?
Yes.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Yeah. It's
so
good. I blazed through it. I'm watching it. I'm totally watching
really
it.
funny. I will say I don't know. It's not necessarily for everybody. I think we would all enjoy it.
If you don't like the first 5 minutes, you won't like the show.
You won't like, yeah, right.
The first 5 minutes had me dying.
It is. It's pretty racy.
Dying.
But it's really good. But anyway, She'd be my.
I love her as the voice of L3.
She's kind of my 1A, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
she's
that's
good.
my other one.
All right, number 2. Like I said, she was my number 1 for a very, very long time, and I just thought of this, but I.
If this is Brian's,
No one's
no,
gonna. No one's gonna have.
That would be hilarious.
No one's gonna have my.
I would love to see.
If
that.
it is, I'm walking out.
He's
of
gonna
the
throw
store.
the gauntlet.
I just thought of this, but I essentially went all Mission Impossible on this one. I'm picking Paula Patton.
Oh, okay.
Who was in Ghost Protocol. I think she would kill this type of role. I really do. She's not in a whole lot lately. She's not in really a lot of mainstream stuff. But she was incredible in Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible. And she played off people like Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg. She was great. I think she can play that physical role, obviously, by being in Mission Impossible.
Was she in Warcraft?
She was in Warcraft.
Yeah.
You are correct, and she did the mocap stuff already, and she was great. She was probably one of the bright spots of that movie.
Yeah.
But I think that she would be really good. And she was my number 1 for a very long time. I think she'd be awesome as that.
That'd be an interesting choice. Yeah. And they could still be cousins if you did that mixed race stuff. Yeah.
So if it's race, we might have a problem with mine. But my choice, my backup was Gabrielle Union.
Dude, hold. Oh my goodness! I was just thinking that name in my head because you said that she basically hinted that she wasn't going to be your next choice isn't white.
Yeah,
and I was like, who could it be? I was like, wonder if he's thinking of Gabrielle Union. And I swear, I was just thinking that. That's crazy.
This role.
Yeah.
I love her.
Oh yeah,
she's hilarious. Awesome. She's a badass too. So like, I can literally, without her being like.
We haven't seen
MMA
a lot of her lately.
She's in a new TV show coming out with Jessica Biel.
She's still married to Dwayne Wade.
Boys.
Yeah.
She's playing her character from Bad Boys. It's a spinoff on.
I heard about that. Yeah, interesting.
It's called LA's Finest.
Sister.
It's LA's Finest. Her and Jessica Alba are cops.
Really?
Oh, no, she's Martin's sister.
Interesting.
Martin's sister. Yeah, but Will Smith's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I would love her in it because she would be awesome, and she can hold her own. Can you imagine her and a lawyer arguing someone in court?
That's a good call.
I honestly battled between that with her as my number 1. Yeah. I really did because she's great. She is such a badass. Yeah.
I keep imagining every name we're mentioning. I'm like, how's the transformation gonna look like when she transforms into the She-Hulk? And I don't know why I'm having that count so much as who I would want to play that character because that's important, the way they react when they're transforming.
Fun story, she bought my parents drinks in Vegas once.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, cool. 10 years ago or something like that.
That's cool.
She was really a big time actress.
Yeah.
My parents were in Vegas and they found her at a bar and they told her she bought them drinks, which is really cool.
Wow. Awesome.
I think she'd be dope. It's funny because I thought of that movie that she was in where the invaders come in, or the robbers try to break into her home with the kids.
She was the mom.
Oh yeah, that was recent.
Recent. Just like that, angry, defensive, and that's kind of what was I could see her
that'd be cool.
Kicking some
that'd be
people's
totally
ass.
Cool.
So yeah,
that's crazy. That was the first name I thought of when I was wondering who your runner up was. So my runner up. So my next 2 choices are tough, but if I have to choose a runner up, and she's not in the MCU either, I don't think, is Jessica Biel.
I thought of her as this role. I totally thought of her as this role.
I love Jessica Biel, and it's crazy because a lot of the names we're mentioning, they were Gabrielle Union, Jessica Biel, they were a lot bigger 10 years ago, and they're kind of. I haven't really seen Jessica Biel in anything lately.
She's been doing a lot of TV shows,
and the thing is, these are great actresses, and they, I'm sure they would love to be attached to a Marvel property, and I could see her doing a great job. I'm imagining the lawyer in this scenario, and because no matter what, the action and everything's going to be the same, but it's how is this person going to play the human character? And I think I really like Jessica Biel. I think she's pretty solid, and I could see her playing this role.
Yeah, she's doing. And like you said, she's definitely got the physicality.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah,
that would be so. Yeah,
she was nominated for an Emmy a few years ago for the first season of The Sinner.
Okay.
And then she's on. Which interesting, she's on a Facebook TV show called Limelight.
Really?
So she's kind of been doing a few things as far as TV goes. So she's obviously attracted to TV too.
Yeah.
Because I know they have a family. Her and Justin Timberlake
I feel like
have a family.
like people like her and maybe even Gabrielle Union, they can work more. They just choose not to.
Yeah, I mean, her and Dwayne Wade have a new kid together.
They're just living their normal life, and they can pick it up and go work as much as they want
Jennifer
again
does
at
that.
any time.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
That's good.
So should we do honorable mentions?
We should do honorable mentions. Yeah. Just shoot them out. We'll go around the table.
My next one was pretty. Let's go next. Sorry, but I'm just saying it because it's so obvious. Gwendolyn Christie. I mean, it was the first. What was first announced?
We talked about this.
Talking about it.
I was like, Brain of Tard?
Yeah.
I think that'd be so cool.
That would be interesting.
That'd be so cool.
The physicality and
wow.
You know, it's almost too obvious to be honest. So I don't know what's she doing? Is she doing anything?
Not right now.
Is Phasma going to be in?
No, she's gone.
Unfortunately,
she's gone. Should we make a bet?
No,
I was the one being the longest one saying she's gonna still be alive.
JJ gave up on that train, man.
The novel was the best thing that ever came out of the Captain Phasma character.
Yeah,
read that novel
more than 5 minutes.
Interested in that character
until the Phasma TV series that comes out.
Unless it's like the novel. Then
I wouldn't mind that.
I'd be
if
down
it's
for
like
that.
the novel. The novel is dope.
So, but yeah, that was my other one.
Okay, so a couple honor mentions for me. Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
I think that she'd be pretty cool as the lawyer, and she obviously can do the action stuff. She's done that playing TV shows before, and then she was also in Baywatch. And then the one who's been campaigning it for years, Rosario Dawson. I think that she'd be great in the role. Recently in Zombieland 2. I love her. She's obviously a ex-Marvel with the Netflix stuff.
Night Nurse.
Yeah, so that won't be happening, obviously, or at least we don't think it will be. And she's worked with Marvel before, so it would make sense. But I think that those two would be great choices.
Yeah,
as well.
it's tough with those Netflix shows because we don't really know yet if they're bringing some of them over or not, and if that's canon. So we have to wait on.
Well, they are, aren't they?
No,
we don't know. It's
really?
It's all rumor and speculation.
There's been rumors that they're
so.
going to keep Charlie Cox and the woman who plays Jessica Jones.
I could totally see both of those characters interacting with
and John. And we talked about it on
She-Hulk.
Nerd Nation lately, but John Bernthal has been very vocal lately that the Punisher will never leave him. Like it lives within him. So maybe that's kind of a hint as to what's coming back. And Ben Barnes,
he's too good as a
and
Punisher,
Ben Barnes,
man.
the guy who played Jigsaw, said that he met with Marvel about a role. So who knows?
Did that.
There's a lot of talk about the Netflix stuff right now. So.
Yeah.
Mine were I can't ever say her last name. Gina Carano.
Oh,
Carano,
interesting.
Yeah. But
she's already working on a Disney Plus show.
That's
right
why
now.
she's backed up. That's why she's on my lower list.
Cara Dune.
Yeah.
But no, I think that helps with her getting a possible role like She-Hulk because she's working on her acting with.
But the little hair stuff with her.
That's
You're right.
That was one of the things.
The action stuff she'd be great at.
That's so. I went for more of my choices of lawyer. She was my one of like the fighter type, and then my other one was Jennifer Gardner, which you said a second ago, and I was like, son of a crap. You just said my backup. So, but
maybe she wants to. She wants to get revenge for her Marvel role back in the day.
Electra.
Yeah.
Well, you liked
that
her.
bad.
You loved her in
Peppermint.
Peppermint.
Love that movie.
Another actress who could work more if she wants to, but
100%. She's too busy with those commercials.
She does it's commercials.
So a lot of us named because my honorable mention
Yeah.
is kind of a younger choice, but a lot of us mentioned actresses like in their mid-30s, maybe even closer to 40, because that's how I imagine this character. I don't know why. I don't know how old
She's
she
not
is.
young.
Do you know how old? I just looked this up the other day because I was looking her up. But Gabrielle Union, you know how old she is?
Yeah, she's like 50-something.
She's 48.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She
Hottest 40-year-old
She looks the same she did 20 years ago. Yeah.
But if they were to do a younger side, the first name I thought of was Alejandra Daddario. I think she would be a good.
I think you said her for something else. That name sounds familiar.
So. Maybe I mentioned her for Kate Bishop. I don't know, but I don't think so. But if they were to go, because I think she's in her high 20s, early 30s.
She's like 32 or something.
Yeah, but she seems and looks a lot younger than these other actresses we've been mentioning. So
she's good.
I think she would do a decent role if they were to go younger. So yeah, but I definitely my first choice is definitely Anne Hathaway for sure.
Anne Hathaway's a good one, Anthony. Yeah. I would love to see her do a type of show like that.
So was Rebecca first.
So what is your guys' favorite choice of a name that somebody else mentioned? I like
Ferguson.
Mine.
I know, right? Well, I like the your honorable mention. Phoebe WallerBridge. Like I was. It's not even something I thought of. I was like, that would work.
Who was your first choice, Keith?
Elizabeth Debicki. I know.
But I love Rebecca Ferguson.
That's why I was like,
I've been rooting for her since she first appeared in that.
That's a good call.
movie.
That is really good.
and I can't wait to see her in
I
Doctor
like your Gabrielle Union.
I'd probably go Phoebe WallerBridge because it's so different.
But I like the Gabrielle Union thing,
and the reason why is if they do the fourth wall, she fits it. She has experience with it. She has experience with it.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great.
I think Gabrielle Union could do a fourth wall.
She could, sure.
I'm fighting my choice. She's my first.
No, that's your first choice. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Casting Table. Who do you choose to play She-Hulk? Let us know in the comment section. Do you like one of our names or do you have other names? We're curious to hear your thoughts there. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Keith over here, Brian over here, Jake over there, and I am Jacob Bartley for Apocaflix Movies. This is The Casting Table. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. You want something a little bit different? Check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.